Here we go.
Aww.
Okay, you're gonna cry already. I think people can hear you. All right, we got everybody in the room. Didn't you want to just cry watching? Hi everybody, I am Brian.
There's Winnie, and I'm Kristina.
And obviously we are with Frame Your Feline, where you can turn your cat into a living meowsterpiece. And in fact, we've got a couple of guests today. Today's show, we are interviewing the co-authors of, if you weren't paying attention to that open, we have the co-authors of A Home for Buddy. In fact, why don't I present this? Let's bring this up. Slides, and there we go. There we go, A Home for Buddy. Look at that! A Home for
Welcome,
Buddy.
ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that is Amy Laird and Britt Peacock, and they have created this amazing story that guarantees adults and kids they will cry at the beginning and at the end.
It's heartfelt.
It's heartfelt, but it's not a bad cry. It's like a love cry, and then at the end of the book is just a beautiful ending. Great story, and it's not just for kids. It is for the entire family. It's for adults, it's for kids, it's for everybody, right?
Definitely.
Right.
So in writing this book, obviously when you see the book, you realize that there's a real cat named Buddy. So Amy, take it away. Tell us about Buddy.
Oh, Buddy's actually still behind me
Aww.
in his little frame. Buddy came to me as a foster when he was just 3 days old.
Wow.
With his 3 sisters that we have too. And they kind of developed a chronic illness. Basically, an adult would be like a constant sinus infection.
Aww.
And it's something they just live with, always going to have. And he's a special cat. Everybody that meets Buddy falls in love with Buddy, and everybody Buddy meets, he falls in love with them. So, and it was just the obvious choice when we started writing that, it was going to be about Buddy and his unique personality. And then we threw in some of our kids' personalities into him a little bit too. But
did you name him?
So yes, that's the fun part. If you foster, you get to name the cats that you foster. It's my teenager's favorite thing to do. So this group was actually named after the Shannon Messenger books. Thinking of the name of it is, don't have my teen here to tell me, but it was named after one of her books. And his original name was Keith in it, because that's the name of the character in the book. But very early on, we realized he was not dignified enough to have a name like that, because we always feel like, oh, Buddy, because he would the things he would do, and Buddy did stuff after that. So we had to officially change his name to Buddy.
Well, there you go. And so, but now what's interesting is in the book cover, that is not a misprint, ladies and gentlemen. That is see, one of the eyes looks a little cloudy.
Yeah.
So what's up with that cloudy eye?
And that stemmed from when he got sick when he was so little, and having chronic sinus stuff, it kind of can go into their eyes. And his went into his eye, and it wasn't able to ever recover no matter what med we threw at it. It doesn't affect him. It definitely is a little blurry. You know, he's a little kind of like half blind, we say, in that eye. If you put something on that side of him, he'll kind of struggle with it. But other than that, it doesn't slow him down at all.
So you have, how many cats do you have, Britt? Not Britt. I'm sorry, Amy. How many cats do you have?
I have 13.
13 plus.
Plus I foster. So I have 3 little fosters.
That's crazy. And then Britt, you also have cats, right?
I do. I have 2, and they were originally Amy's fosters. So Amy let us know that she had 2 kittens available, and she made a very good case for why we should take them, and it was an offer we couldn't refuse. And she flew up from Florida to Virginia and delivered them to us. They were 2 months, 3 months old, something like that.
So,
holy cow!
That's VIP treatment.
Door-to-door service.
Absolutely.
And then what's
just
for family? Sorry, guys, just for family. Family. Okay.
Well, I'll take them anywhere, really.
And for those of you at home that don't know, they were co-joined twins for 20 years, and then they got separated. And you're both living, and you're looking great, by the way. You would never know. No, they are sister-in-laws, right?
Yes, I was letting them.
Yes. Which means, Britt, you're married to
Amy's brother.
Interesting. I bet you hear some crazy stories. We're not going to get into that.
It's a family show.
It's a family show. Now, did you guys have an argument over which cat gets the name of the book? Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but Britt, did you have any, were you like, one of my cats would probably make the better subject for the book?
It really was always kind of like, it was just an obvious choice that it was going to be Buddy. The personality and the way that we developed the characters has just always stood out. And I don't even think that it just was a front runner right away. And we never looked back, really.
So now this Home for Buddy, a foster story. Again, everybody, you got to get this book. Make sure you go to the Meow Mob.com.
I'm trying to get a word in here.
Okay.
Right, you're gonna head on over to the Meow Mob, MOB.com. You can also give them a follow on all the socials. But you can obtain the book there.
And you can get paperback
or hardcover.
And
printed in the USA, by the way.
And get this, they will sign the book. Mm-hmm. Now, because they don't live near each other, you get to choose who's going to sign the book. And then you have to go to a live event and bring the book and then have the other one sign it.
There you go.
So,
but we are doing an event together in March. So, that's something where you could get both of us to sign it.
Ooh. Well, don't wait to buy it until March. Buy it now. You can bring it when you meet them. I'm sure they'd be happy to sign the book, both of them at the same time. Now, Buddy is going to be the subject of you already have a planned or plotted out sequel. Is that right?
That's correct. That's correct.
But you won't tell us more than that. It's a secret.
No, it's not a secret. Basically this first book, is kind of an example of what they call a foster fail. And so the next book is going to be more of like, how do you let go of fosters so that, maybe kids that are trying to do that or parents that are trying to foster will have that experience. And Buddy's essentially going to guide kids through that process of how to let go. And he's going to mentor those fosters into their, forever home kind of thing. That's the concept that we're going to go with. So,
yeah. And that's kind of like take what he learned in the first book and apply it to.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And we've got people commenting through our comments area here. And somebody says Keeper of the Lost Cities. That's the series.
That was the series. Yes.
That's the series. Thank you, Red, for mentioning that.
That's my teenager.
And Nicole says, hello, friends. Hello. You too,
And
Nicole.
Pam Webster's giving 3 heart cat faces.
Thank you, Pam. I'm glad you all are joining us. With this book, can I share one page?
Sure.
Of the book? Because this pretty much explains where we're going with this book. This page, I'm going to read, if you don't mind. This is like a book on tape. You guys ready? Here we go. But Buddy didn't want to leave. Do you see where this is going, everybody? But Buddy didn't want to leave.
This house.
Ella, I bet there's something we could do to make this family want to adopt us, he said anxiously. Buddy, there's nothing we can do. We just have to be ourselves and the right family will come along, Ella responded. But Buddy had his own ideas. And that's the start of the trouble. That is page 5, where everything goes haywire. And it's a lot of fun. And so now the cliffhanger is, does Buddy and Ella stay or do they find their forever family? Ooh, we are not going to give away the ending. We're not giving away the ending. You've got to pick up the book at themeowmob.com and make sure you get it for yourself or somebody that loves cats. They will guarantee, make sure you give them, not only do you want to buy a book, but also get the Meow Mob hanky that comes with the book. You should sell a box of Meow Mob tissues.
Nasal tissues.
Yeah. Guaranteed.
So a fun fact on that page in the frame that's in the background there.
Yeah.
That's actually a frame that my mom made me. And it's got pictures of all my other cats in it. And so our illustrator actually incorporated that. So that's a little sneak peek into some of the other cats in my house.
We were talking about that last night because we read it with our 7-year-old. And I was explaining to him, in the old days, we used to have printed photos and we would do a collage and it used to go on a wall. Very strange concept.
Mm-hmm.
Weird concept.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Because,
So,
yeah, go ahead.
I was to say, so when did the two of you start, fleshing out the idea for the book? And how long did it take going through?
What, 3 years this Christmas is when it first all started?
Well, I guess, yeah, since the kids started making up the whole mob boss thing and all of that. But then we officially really started on it in summer of 2021, where we sat down and decided it was going to be a book and started doing all that initial research.
Aha.
We went through many variations of the book before it kind of landed to where it is now. It was an interesting process. You have one idea, it then changes. You have some people read it, it changes again. So it took a while to get to where it's at.
At one point, Buddy was a pirate, but we don't like to talk about those days, do we, Amy?
But we had some fun nights writing that.
Oh, the lost episode.
We have a one-eyed cat that we call our pirate.
So, so let me go back.
Yeah, what other images have you seen?
Well, then there's the back. Right? It kind of talks about it. And that's Ella and Buddy.
Yeah.
But we also see the tail of another cat, which we don't want to give away who that cat is, right? Let's keep that quiet. Okay. But
there's a surprise at the end of the book.
But let's talk about the illustrations in this book, because the illustrations are amazing. And the illustrations are done by Anastasia Ivanova Kovalskaya.
Good job.
Yes.
Now, that doesn't sound like a girl from Brooklyn. Where is she from?
She is from Russia, and we found her on Instagram. She had videos where she could draw a cat in a minute. We loved what she was drawing. We loved all of her videos. We connected with her, and she did all of our illustrations remotely. In fact, we just sent her a copy of the book. So we're hoping she gets it really soon. I mean, I think we sent it a month ago now. It's been amazing to collaborate with her. And she's just tremendous at what she does.
That's fantastic. Now, She now is she somebody you think you're going to work with on the second book?
Yes. We've already worked all of that out, and she'll be working with us on the second book.
That's a tricky question. What if they said no?
Well, we would not want to let
re-edit this video.
Yeah, we had to cut that part out so Anastasia doesn't get angry. Was there a language barrier when talking with her, or did you never have to speak with her? Like,
we did some video calls, and then I mean, she definitely preferred us to email her because it gave her the time to, go through and figure out what we were saying, and then she would email us questions. So most of the book we did completely through email.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And you said something in the interview that we did earlier on Instagram, like the inspiration for the pages, for the photos, for the images. Where did it come from?
They are all of my house. So everything in the book is actually in my house, and it's actually pictures of my husband's legs, my kid. All the cat toys are actually cat toys we have. So yeah, any pictures we sent her, I mean, it's amazing. I know it's my house, but still when I look at the pictures, just how much it matches my house is amazing. Who knows? Maybe the frame needs to get in book 2.
I was going to say we would give you authorization
Yes.
to use that in the next book.
Please do. Please do. Like I said earlier, a frame for Buddy. A foster frame story. There you go.
Chill. It's like totally nap time for him. Huh?
Oh, he's such a chill cat.
Is he a talker? Does he meow a lot?
Not too much. Just recently, he's gotten a lot more. I said the fame has gone to his head because literally ever since the book has kind of come out, he thinks he needs to be wherever I go. And, it's like, no, this is all about me. So he uses his meows wisely. Let's put it that way. It's really when he wants something. Now, the thing he does a lot is, and I sent you the video of in there, he paws at everything. That's the way he communicates.
Okay.
Oh, I should have.
On our Instagram, you can see Buddy breaking in the frame. We're like, it's cool. He's pawing at the interchangeable artwork panel, and that's what it's made for because it's super durable and it's scratch resistant.
Well, why don't we show? I'm going to show the pictures of your cats, and let's talk about them for a minute.
Okay.
And Britt, my apologies, but I didn't get any pics of your cats, so.
No problem. I did want to say that there is a webcomic on our website where we made a whole little webcomic about how Buddy does the pawing thing as well.
Because he does it on anything. If you leave him out of a room, he paws at the door until you let him in.
That's so. Now we should let everybody know that we met you, Amy, at CatCon 2023 this past August.
Yep.
You came to our booth. You saw the frame.
Flew out from Florida.
You flew out from Florida just to kind of get the lay of the land because you may be doing a CatCon in the future with your books. And your swag and your everything else you may have. And so you saw our booth, and I think you immediately connected to, oh my gosh, my cat can be a work of art.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, not only can we make your cat a work of art, we could put a backdrop with your logo in there, which we did, and it looks fabulous.
It is.
Yeah, so that is Buddy with the...
Oh, and somebody's joined him.
Yeah.
Very silver frame. There we go.
Who's with him?
That's Mike. He's he's almost 1.
Aw.
Well, let me go to the next slide here.
There he is.
There he is again.
I want to be in the next book.
Yes, definitely.
So
who would definitely want that?
What's the name of this cat?
Mike.
Mike.
But it's MYC.
MYC.
Yeah, my kid got that from, they'll probably text it in there in the comments, but they got that name from, so he was a foster, and I let my teenager name a lot of the fosters, and Red named him after, I think, a show they like, and The name has,
MYK, Mike,
stuck.
MYK.
Okay.
but I call him Mikey mostly.
Well, that would be MYCY.
Right.
All right, let's see what else besides Mike.
That's Buddy
There's
again.
without the book. There you go. Whoops. And
He's so poised. He looks like one of our demo cats that we have. When we exhibit live at events, we can't bring our real cats with us. So we have these, they're called Joy for All cats. They're like animatronic cats that purr. And he was just poised just like one of them.
he was.
I think I saw in one of your videos it was a tuxedo that you have in there.
Yeah, that looked like.
No, I think I saw that.
Those are my two youngest. Mike will be a year in December. Mew is only 8 months old right now.
Mew, MEW.
Yeah, so I had since she's a day old.
Wow.
And all she would do is cry. So she got named Mad Mew Mew because she always seemed upset. And now it's just gotten shortened to Mew, MEW. But she's anemic, so she's another special needs kitty. So there might be a book about her one of these days.
And who is this?
That is Marie. She's one of the oldest in the house now. She's 10. She was my teen Red's 5th birthday present, so 10 years ago. She and her sister, who we have, Rosie, climbed into her lap at the SPCA, and we were going to get one, and we came home with 2.
Well, let me
It's
tell you.
always better to get 2, I think.
Okay, we have an up.
We already had 2 at home, so.
Yeah.
We have an update from our audience here. So and it's from both are from Red. So thank you, Red. You're on it, Red. You're on it. So Red says the show is called Inside Job on Netflix.
Oh, yep, that's mine.
Who he's named after. And then Mad Mew Mew is a character from a game called Undertale 2. So
Backstory.
Yep. That's what happens when you let your teenager name your fosters.
Yeah.
Well, now you owe royalties to these people. Unfortunately, I hate to tell you that, but very cool. And then let me flip this one more. Look at that. That's
awesome. Look at that.
That's why I said we need another frame because it's
incredible.
a constant rotation. But you see who's almost always in the top is Buddy.
Yeah. And he's like looking at the other one like, it's mine.
That's awesome. Did you install it or did your husband install it?
We did it together.
Did it together? Nice.
Yep.
You did a fantastic job.
Well, your directions were fantastic and so fun to read. They do. You make them very fun and clever. It was great to do it.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
We do our best to make it easy. I don't know if you happen to see the install videos. I had never used a drill before. And Brian's like, we're making a video and you're doing the install in the kitchen with the drill. Like, I don't hold this thing. So.
But yeah, with all the, the templates you gave and everything, it made it so easy.
Excellent. Yeah, for those of you who are watching and you would like a Frame Your Feline where you can turn your cat into a work of living art, just go to frameyourfeline.com, frameyourfeline.com, and get yourself one now because the holidays are coming and you want to see your cat on the wall looking like art, or you want to get it for someone that you love who also loves cats and you want to see their cat on the wall. So there you go. Right, Winnie? There you go.
Winnie will live here for the next 4 months because this is at a vantage point where she can stare at our fireplace and our mantle for hours and stay super warm. She loves that.
Yes.
And she loves to get away. It's a nice perch to get away from some of the other cats.
Now, Nicole Andriano, she wrote, you should have spelt it Mew, M-U, after the Greek letter with a math meaning. I'll see myself out. That's good, Nicole. I like that. That's good. So you have to change the name now because Nicole says so.
Well, she's one of my best friends and my neighbor. So, her opinion it carries a lot of weight.
Okay, well, thank you, Nicole. Awesome.
And Britt, where are you located?
I'm in Virginia.
Virginia. So Virginia and Florida.
How far of a drive is that between you two?
It's a very long drive that we've both done many times.
Oof.
What, like 14 hours, Amy? Is that?
Oh my gosh.
15,
What?
depending if you get stuck on 95 up
Yeah.
near you.
Right.
Oh, holiday traffic.
Or in Orlando by me, you know.
That's horrible. Well, if you guys ever want to drive out to California.
We're gonna
CatCon, right?
CatCon, we're gonna fly, I think, right, Amy?
I would assume.
I don't know. Depends how we get all the stuff out there.
What else? I have some questions for you. Now, I am going to ask this question now because I did ask you, Britt, this on the last live we did over on Instagram, but I have to ask it because it's part of the teaser for the show.
Oh yes, we can't forget that.
So if you guys haven't noticed, Britt's last name is Peacock. Okay. Now, either she owns NBC, right? Or
It could happen.
You've been holding out on me.
she has gotten royalties for decades from a game called Clue. So you must be very wealthy, Britt, having either you own a network or you're getting residuals from a game board. Which is it?
You know, this really should have been like a multiple choice quiz where people could like weigh in and you could take a poll. I'm really disappointed that you didn't take it to that level. But
You know, you're right. I failed again.
But no, unfortunately, it's just a cool name. But
Have you ever met anybody named with a last name Plum, Mustard, White, Scarlet, White?
White, probably, but none of the others. Although there is, ironically, in my neighborhood, there's another person with the last name of Peacock that is totally unrelated.
Oh,
So
Really?
wow.
that was
Wow. Well, who shows their feathers better, you or them?
depends on which peacock you're talking about. In my family, there's definitely a few of them that show their feathers well. My son is probably that one.
There you go. And
for Amy, you had mentioned you do a lot of work with your local, is it the SPCA or who is it?
Yes. SPCA Florida. That's who I foster for. We started with them back in 2017. And at this point, we fostered for Best Friends for a little bit too. They were in Polk County for a little bit, and we did do some fostering with Best Friends, but they're no longer in our county. So we're back just doing exclusively with SPCA Florida. And we've had over 180 kittens through our house.
Since 2017?
Since 2017.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that you had been doing this for like 10 years.
No.
180 kittens?
Yes.
Wow. Where's your medal? Honestly, that's amazing. Wow.
don't get any ideas.
Have a garage.
So fun. So rewarding.
Oh man. Oh, Buddy's stretching.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Oh.
And
And
down. There you go.
And when
so we actually are going to give, if anybody goes to our website within 24 hours after this live, we will donate 10% of the book profit to SPCA Florida for their foster department.
Oh, I love that.
So I know they are in desperate need of a wet food called Royal Canin Mother and Baby Cat. It's super high protein, high in fat to help the moms that are nursing and those babies that need it up until 8 weeks old. And it's like $55 for a case of 24. So they call it liquid gold at the shelter. So see if we can help them get a case or two of that. So go buy the book and help them out.
That's awesome. Well, help them out. Go to themeowmob.com and pick up a book, you guys. Please. That food is expensive.
It is. It's so expensive. It's ever since COVID, that price, it used to be $35 a case because I would buy it, if I had babies that really were struggling, it gives them that extra little oomph that they need. And yeah, when it jumped up to 56 a case, it was like, oh, okay.
Is that like a lobster and filet mignon? Like what? What in the
You would
world?
think.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please, you guys, go pick up a book, and you're also you also have merchandise on your website too.
We do. We have t-shirts and stickers that we have creatively designed. We've pulled some from pictures of the book that Anastasia did the art for, and then others that Britt and I have thought through, tried to come up with a saying, had a specific picture we wanted to go with it. And my teenager Red is an artist, so they actually drew those for us.
Wow, a shout out to Red.
Yeah, thank you, Red.
I love the family business.
So now tell us real quick, what was the hardest part of creating this book?
Go ahead, Britt.
It's
Sure.
a hard question to answer. Yeah.
Sure. So it was really, I think the ins and outs of the publishing process and doing that for the first time was really what I think was the most challenging. It's pretty confusing, and when you go online to do that kind of research, you see a lot of conflicting pieces of advice, or people have their preferences on how to go about it, and the publisher that you choose has pros and cons, and so figuring out for the type of book that we wanted to do, we really wanted to showcase our illustrators' work. That was really important to us, because she really just outdid herself in that way. So we wanted to find the right way to go about that. When we do book 2, that will be, like a really, nice perk that we've already done that part of it. And that part will be much easier for us to go about the next time.
Yeah, the second book is going to be a lot easier, right? You
Yes.
already got things figured out. So why stop there?
You're building your mailing list and your fan base, so you can go back to the same people and go, hey, book 2.
Right.
And then wait till you see how difficult it is to do an animated series and then a live action buddy film. Okay.
Oh, we've got some kids that could probably play those characters.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Winnie? Yeah.
Aww.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you both for coming on board. We really appreciate the time you have taken out of your day to answer my insane questions and Kristina's brilliant ones. So, do you guys have any last comments or thoughts?
I did want to ask you guys, how did you get into the Frame Your Feline business?
Oh.
We're writing a book about that right now. And so we're looking for an illustrator, and the whole part of doing this was just a ruse, just to pick ideas out of your head. Now,
Well, we were living in our apartment in LA, and we had this ugly carpeted cat tree that was gifted to us by our hairdresser when she found out we had rescued our cat Frosty. And we had our son, and we knew we had to get out of the apartment, and we were house hunting, and we were brainstorming while we were house hunting. My dad had gifted us a really fancy piece of art from Ronnie Wood from the Rolling Stones, and it has a beautiful frame. And we, in our apartment, we're kind of like, how do we have like this really nice piece of art, but then how do we have like some place for the cats to climb in our new home? We wanted to do some kind of super wall to give them exercise. We had learned about catification, that term from Jackson Galaxy, and we were hanging up the frame, and we were like, how do we frame our cats? Like, how do we get our cats to be around the Ronnie Wood piece?
Do you have the piece on the wall?
Yeah.
Can you go get
okay.
it? This is like really the start of it.
Oh.
So we got this picture of a cat in a frame, but it's a painting of a cat in a frame. And then that was what kind of started getting the wheels going. And we didn't want the ugly carpeted cat tree, as Kristina was saying. Like, it just, we wanted something that looked great on the wall when the cat was in it and not in it. right?
Mhm.
So here's
Well, and
here's the
also,
beginning.
I have a friend. She's kind of famous, and she has access to a lot of money. And she had hired painters to paint her cats in oil with like Commodore, like generals and stuff like that. And so we found this, I think, at like IKEA in the clearance section. I wonder, like, what this woman has, my friend Shayna, and we're like, there we go. This is like what did this cost? $3 version, and she has the like $5,000 version.
This one's $4. All of you who are wondering.
And then the crazy thing is, it goes back to my dad. My dad had a girlfriend who picked out a piece of jewelry for me.
Oh yeah.
And it looks like Winnie right now in a frame. It's a brooch
That she got
and
years
I
ago.
had never even thought of it. And then I don't know, like a year ago when we started doing these lives, I was like, oh, I need to put some accessories on. And I was like, what do I have that's cat related? And I'm like, holy Brian, look, I have it's a cat in a friggin' frame. So it's just amazing. But we had this idea, and we are not engineers or woodworkers. So we had to, start making calls and contact people and brainstorm with people. And our engineer is actually the one who came up with the idea with the art, because originally I just wanted a frame for the cat.
Yeah. So one of the more
I do think that Winnie looks pretty cool, just like that frame.
Right.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
Our first iteration was more square, and it looked like a box. It looked like a window. It didn't look like art,
And it didn't have a frame. It had handmade wood that was just kind of 4 pieces made into a square.
We went through a lot of iterations, and then finding so a difficult thing, just like kind of like you guys going through the publishing process. Us was getting rights to artwork and getting rights to and also figuring out what are we allowed to sell. So we learned all sorts of things about copywriting and trademark copywriting of, is it copyright or trademark? It's okay. Here's an example. We can sell an image of the Eiffel Tower during the day. If we were going to sell the Eiffel Tower image where it's at night, it would not pass the smell test. We'd have
to pay a royalty.
We would have to pay a crazy amount of money for that. That's because the lighting design is trademarked. Got it.
Wow.
Then if you have a picture of New York City, now if it's a picture of the Empire State Building and that's the main thing in the image, you can't do it because that is copywritten. But if it's part of the larger skyline, then you're okay. So you see how lots to learn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long has it taken for you to get to where you are now then?
We had the idea, we were toying around with it. I would say around 2017, we were kind of talking about this when we had Jackson just in the beginning. And then when we moved here,
that's when it really started.
Our engineer put together this version that we installed in our garage, and we hoisted Frosty up because we didn't have shelves or anything. We're just trying to see what does the cat's body look like in this shape. And then that's when we were like, oh, it can't be a square. It needs to be a more rectangle-y. And then we thought we might launch right before COVID, and we were still working on getting the art together and talking to different artists, because we have digital images and we have oil and acrylic and watercolor paintings and photography. So we didn't want to launch with just one thing, because that's a hard thing with art. Everybody has so many different styles and tastes and stuff. So then during COVID, we're like, well, we're not really going anywhere and everything's being postponed. We should start contacting people to do the beta version testing. So we got multiple families with lots of different types of cats
all over Country.
Maine Coons, Bengals, Egyptians, short-haired, Persians, like just all of them to try like their body. I mean, it's all tested engineer-wise, so it's going to protect the integrity of your walls and your cat's going to be safe. But we wanted to see like how they all responded.
And all of them were exactly the same. The cat's just magnet. They just gravitate to it, and you don't have to train them or anything. They just feel like it's a box and they want to sit in there.
Yeah,
So.
and they're a pie. It's their favorite things, in a box and a pie.
Yeah. It's vertical space.
It's the Amazon box on the wall.
And, you know,
And it looks beautiful.
That's so true and funny.
It's so many people like when I have cats, you just moved the table. When I have cats out before, you know, everybody has like the carpeted cat tree and they just shove it in the wall, or people go, oh, I hate cats. I'm allergic to cats. And we're always like, oh, you're allergic to the ugly carpeted cat tree that's like full of dust and dander. So we want something beautiful. So like now when he's not here, but we have something that, you know, looks nice. And then we love for you guys because you have a logo that you can use, you know, in the frame for the marketing. It's like super cool. We have other people that we met at CatCon who purchased who have rescues, and they're like, what a great landing spot for the cat to have their picture taken. Because the worst thing is like shelter photos where the cats are like, hi, get, you know, save me. You can't see them because they're so scared. And
yeah.
It's
pretty wild. Aren't you glad you asked the question?
I love the answer.
No, that's amazing.
So, well, with that said, you know, it is a cat magnet, right, Winnie?
Buddy's still up there.
I know. He's not leaving.
Well, we appreciate both of you. Thank you again for your time. And
this foster fail.
Oh, that's a foster fail.
That is Bodie. He's Winnie's male version. Yeah,
He's
he's gonna chase her.
So, yeah, Bodie. That's one way to get her up in the frame. There you go. Awesome. Well, let's wrap it up this way. Everybody, please do get a copy of the book, A Home for Buddy. A Home for Buddy. You can get it in paperback. You can get it in hardcover, and they will sign it. Make sure you go to themeowmob.com, themeowmob.com. And also, we encourage you to check out all of their cool swag that they've got in their store, the merchandise. And again, if you order within 24 hours of this video, they are going to donate 10%. Is that right? 10%.
10%
right?
of the profit. Yep.
10% of the profits to
SPCA Florida.
There you go.
Foster Department.
So make sure you guys get this, grab it while you can. And it's literally hot off the press. It's burning my hands. So we thank you, Britt. Thank you, Amy. And if you guys are interested in Frame Your Feline, check us out on frameyourfeline.com, or you can turn your cat into a living meowsterpiece. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.